All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, fresh off of making the postseason last October for the first time in a decade, the young Detroit Tigers have built off of that as they appear to be well on their way to winning their first American League Central title since 2014. After their road sweep this past weekend of the Cleveland Guardians, the Tigers are now 57 and 34, and they have themselves a sizable 13 and a half game lead over the second place Minnesota Twins in the division. The Tigers are doing what good teams are supposed to do, and that is to beat up on the bad teams. As right now, Detroit is the only team in the AL Central that currently owns a winning record. And the cherry on top of this is the fact that right now, the Tigers have themselves the best record in all of baseball. Now, just like it was in Houston with the Astros, manager AJ Hinch is once again building himself something special with this young team. You look at Tarik Skubal, okay, and he is pitching like a guy who wants to win his second consecutive American League Cy Young Award. So far this season, Skubal is 10 and 2 with a 2.02 ERA with 148 strikeouts in 18 starts. And he pitched well enough to get that 11th victory yesterday as he gave the Tigers 7 innings of shutout ball against the Guardians, which included striking out 10. Now, Skubal is one of, if not the best pitchers right now in baseball. And he is the true definition of the term ace. Why? Because not only does he give the Tigers an opportunity to win every fifth day, he also puts fear in that opposing lineup. And not only that, the Tigers know that you know what, when they lace him up and take the field, whenever he's got the bump, guess what? They've got themselves a darn good opportunity to go out there and win that game. You look at Detroit overall. I mean, with this pitching staff, Casey Mize has been tremendous in this rotation for the Tigers, and as a unit, the Tigers have themselves the second best ERA in the American League at 3.49. You look at this lineup, so many guys that you could give the credit to. Second place baseman Gleyber Torres, he signed that 1 year deal after coming over from the Yankees. He's been solid for the Tigers. You look at outfielder Riley Green and so many others up and down this lineup for Detroit who have been contributing. And of course, they're doing it with a low payroll, not the lowest in baseball, maybe like a Tampa or White Sox or the Athletics, but nonetheless, it's still on that bottom tier as far as payrolls go in baseball right now. But the Tigers are simply going out there and getting it done. And you think about the slow rebuild for this team. You know, you go back to 2019, the Tigers lost 114 games, and that was right after consecutive 98 loss seasons in 2018 and 2017, respectively. 96 losses in 2022. And of course, that was AJ Hinch's second year in Detroit. It all finally began to come together last year as his team went 86 and 76, beat the Astros in the wild card round, and they pushed the Cleveland Guardians to the brink, okay, in that divisional round before they bowed out in 5 games. You just got to wonder what could have been for the Tigers, but nonetheless, they have come back hungry this season, okay, and the Tigers are a force to be reckoned with in baseball. The AL Central at this point is the Tigers to lose, and barring something unforeseen, I do not see them losing their grip on this division because they've been good and the rest of the division has been bad. And like I said, the biggest thing for the Tigers, they simply just continue to go out there and take care of their business. Like I said, nobody's above 500 right now. I expected the Guardians to be better than what they are. Of course, they're in the midst of a 10-game losing streak. they're under 500. The Twins have been up and down. The Royals, who did make the playoffs last year, have been somewhat of a disappointment. And then, of course, there's the Chicago White Sox. So nonetheless, this division is there for the taking. And of course, so far, the Tigers have indeed seized that moment. You look at the squad right now and the way that things are looking for the Tigers, they're going to be a playoff team. Okay. And with that said, should this team look at being buyers ahead of the trade deadline? Absolutely. Okay. If you are the Tigers and you've got this small payroll and you've got this comfortable lead in your division right now, you've got to start thinking about the postseason if you're the front office. And if I am the Tigers, I'm pushing the chips to the middle of the table and I'm going all in. I'm not saying that you got to go out there and sell the farm to go out there and acquire some more talent. No, but you like clearly you've got to look at your team. You got to say, okay, what holes can we fix or what areas can we get stronger in to enhance our chances come October. I think that needs to be the biggest things for the Tigers. I would like to see them, bring in some veterans, maybe another veteran bat for this lineup, possibly another bullpen arm, possibly another arm for this rotation because, of course, in October, you can never have enough arms, whether it's your rotation or whether it's the bullpen. And of course, you're always going to need those veteran guys who come up and make those clutch hits and clutch plays in your lineup. And then just to have a guy who's kind of been there and done that in October would definitely be something helpful for the Detroit Tigers, in my opinion. So I'm looking at it like this. And you think about the impact of Tigers president of baseball operations, Scott Harrison, of course, general manager Jeff Greenberg. They haven't been on the job that long, either one of them, okay? And how they have gotten this thing turned around. And I mean, again, you look at the Tigers, it was just 6 years ago that they lost 114 games. And I'm going to tell you like this Detroit, if they keep this up, they can flirt with possibly winning 100 games. So they went from being a 100 loss team 6 years ago to possibly being a 100 win team this year. And of course, if you're a Tigers fan and you want to get nostalgic, last time this club won 100 games, got to go back to 1984. And of course, that was the last year when the Tigers won the World Series. Sparky Anderson as a manager, Kirk Gibson, Jack Morris, and so many others on that team. Lou Whitaker, Alan Trammell. I could go right down the list. But nonetheless, you think about it. Since 2002, this Tigers franchise has lost 100 games three times. Of course, they had that solid run in the early 2010s. We saw Detroit make the postseason 4 consecutive years, which included a World Series appearance in 2012. Just never were able to get over that hump. And like I said, this is a young squad. I gotta say, you gotta go out there if you're the Tigers. In my opinion, you should try to be aggressive because just because you have a young team does not guarantee that, okay, we're going to be able to do this next year and the year after that and the year after that. It always does not work for everybody. So if you've got an opportunity to go out there and make a postseason run, make a deep run, especially with a guy like Tarik Skubal at the top of your rotation, I say, you know what, go on it, go for it. I do feel that this Tigers team could be very dangerous in October. I just want to see what this front office is going to do at the trade deadline to enhance it. But nonetheless, the AL Central, and I said this coming into the year, was going to be there for the taking, and I just wanted to see who was going to be able to take the bull by the horns. In this case, it's the Tigers who are taking the bull by the horns. Like I said, barring something unforeseen, I don't see the Tigers not winning this division at this point. I just want to see how many wins they're going to finish with. And on top of that, what move or moves that they will make prior to the trade deadline in order to enhance their chances in October. But nonetheless, strong start by the Tigers. I think they build off of this, and I think this could be a very dangerous team come October. But folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw in this podcast, you know what to do. Please feel free to hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. Like I always say, it is greatly appreciated. Also, if you are on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 pounds of sports. And like I always say, if you give me that follow, I'll give you that follow right back. And the same goes for Instagram, where you can check me out at 300 pounds of sports knowledge. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can check us out at the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports debating groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, and I'm saying thanks once again for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.